Yeah, it's bloody ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, we all know there's no place for women in football. It's ridiculous. Uh, Gotta go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's daily Splatt. Yes. In case any of you haven't heard, I'm not being sexist towards women. I'm making a bit of a joke in reference to the fact that two gentlemen have been very, very sexist towards women in the United Kingdom. Two football commentators for Sky Sports who broadcast the Premiership football in the United Kingdom. They were caught speaking on microphones that they thought were off, basically saying, what's a, because they were caught saying some very naughty things. Is what I'm trying to say. Basically, a female linesman was officiating the recent game between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Liverpool, and before the game, they thought the microphones were off, the two commentators, Richard Keys and Andy Gray, and they were talking to each other and going, what's a nice woman doing? Woman, they don't even know the offside rule, and all that nonsense. Now, obviously, people have been very upset by this. They have both lost their jobs at Sky Sports, and rightly so, really. There is not really a place for sexism in any walk of life, let alone sport and let alone football. Now, obviously football, it isn't just a man's game. That's the thing, there is women's football, and the reason that they've got sacked as well is not just because of those comments, but there's been subsequent footage from the past found of them talking in rather an offensive and derogatory manner, although that said, a lot of men speak like that, but they were talking about it in a very, very unfair and quite crude kind of way, just laughing at women's football and things like that, and that isn't good, if they really like football, then they have to encourage it in all forms of the game, So I think it's right that they've gone, as good as Andy Gray was as a commentator, there can be other slightly annoying Scottish sort of sub-commentators. So it's it's hardly like there's no one to take his place. But yes, it's been quite troubling to see that it's still prevalent, and I think there is still a degree of sexism in football. There's still a degree of sexism everywhere. I think that's going to be quite hard to eradicate because it's so ingratiated into particularly certain cultures, but also certain mindsets and things like that. But it can be changed, and for a large part, it has. Back in the 1970s and the 1980s, there was no way you would have got a woman anywhere near, an officiating role in British football. And it's ridiculous. The lineswoman in question, she had a good game, which was, good for her, and, if she'd had a bad game, that could have caused for a few derogatory comments, but no, she had a good game. She correctly called certain things onside and offside, and she was, by all accounts, very good. So I'm glad, really, that measures have been taken against Richard Keys and Andy Gray, because Keys in particular just seems like a bit of a knob, really, by the sounds of it. But yes, so that's all I've got to comment on today, is the sexism around football. And my own personal opinion on the matter is, if a person, regardless of gender, can do a job, such as being a linesman, or a fourth official, or maybe even a referee, then let them do it, I think that the referee's one's slightly different, because the referee is the one that interacts with the players, and you will probably get a few issues where you've got certain players who'll go, I'm not listening to a girl, but that would be to their own discredit. So I think, women are perfectly capable of performing the role, and as long as the individual proves themselves to be, capable of doing the job, then let them do it. Okay, that's all for today. Bye!